Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Football Nation. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about Bayern Munich. I know this is a little bit different because normally I talk about the Premier League and Chelsea, but today I just had to put my 2 cents about the Bayern Munich situation right now. And are they in crisis mode already? Are they freaking? Everybody's freaking out. That's just what it seems like. So Bayern's under incredible scrutiny, incredible pressure, and Bayern seem to be coming into the season. They seem to be on a level way too above the Bundesliga clubs. For example, Schalke sporting director Christian Heidel assumed Bayern weren't gonna lose a single game this season, but look how different it turned out. So we all know that the club has extremely high standards. They're expected to win the league every single year. Anything less than that, it's failure. It's just how it is for Bayern, and they're also expected to win their league cup. So I would say it's an incredible amount of pressure to put on the players and on the club, but it is rightly so because they are one of the powerhouses in Europe. So I think considering all that, that's what makes it all that much more important. And it's so crazy to see now that after 7 games, Bayern is now sitting in sixth place with 2 losses already. Let me get out of the way. Right here, you guys will see the league table, sixth place. Can you guys believe it? Sixth place. And of course, we know Dortmund, who we thought were going to struggle. Well, many thought they were going to struggle. They haven't lost a single game of the season yet. They're in first place. So the question is why? What happened? What's going on here? I think for the most part, it's been maybe injury. Well, yeah, it's been injuries for a large part of the reason. But it's also, it seemed like the coach, the Bayern coach, doesn't really have much of a backup plan or any plan at all to try to get these players to perform better. And I've said in a previous video that one of the biggest key problems right now is the age of which the wingers of the Bayern Munich team is currently at. Arjen Robben, 34. Frank Ribery, 35. Now, at that age, can you really perform at the highest level with the physically demanding league that it is? Because they have to. You guys know the pace of the Bundesliga is not. It's pretty fast. It's really fast. So when you hit a certain age, when you're hitting like 31, 32, for the depending on the player, they start to go down physically. They can't run as fast. So now we have Arjen Robben, 34, Frank Ribery, 35. They're on the end of their careers. Yes, they're very skilled. They're very talented. They're very. They have a lot of experience, but that will only take them so far. As wingers, they have to be fast. They have to keep up. They have to be able to beat defenders, and I just don't know if they have that anymore. They used to. They were really fast before, but now it's not the same anymore. Now, another reason I think Bayern is struggling is basically just think about all the players that have been gone injured. Rafinha has an ankle injury, and he should be back in mid-October. So I guess if that's the case, then it might not be a big of a deal because he'll be back pretty soon. Now Alaba, he's also had a hamstring injury, and supposedly he's gonna be back in a few days. But I guess we'll see. So these are like really key positions, in the defense. The big loss that Bayern has is Coman. Coman has that ankle injury, and he's gonna be back in mid-January of 2019. That's a long time. So many things can happen between now and January, and I think it's just very I guess, worrisome for Bayern Munich fans to see that. Now, another big injury is Corentin Tolisso, mid March of 2019. That's when he's going to be back. And I believe that his injury is ACL. Many players get an ACL injury and they'll never come back the same way. They're never the same player. Very few have come back and and have been able to pick up their careers, but I mean it's taken a long time. It's taken sometimes a whole season and a half. It's just been crazy. Just think about Ramadel Falcao. I think he was 29 going into the the previous World Cup in Brazil. He lost out on playing in the World Cup because of an ACL injury. And after that, it's just been a joke. People have been making fun of him because of how badly he's played after he come back. He had a if I'm not mistaken, a loan spell at Manchester United and then at Chelsea, and he was just ridiculed by the English media because of how bad he was playing. He was the flop of the season for both teams. It's just how they portrayed him to be. But of course, it is the injury. It takes a very long time to get back to playing at that top level. It's just, I think it's a really big loss. Sure, they have a lot of midfielders, but I feel like because of all those injuries, they're just cutting short in midfield. And midfield is key. It's key to the way Bayern Munich play, the possession game, the high press. The midfield is so key. And to lose a guy like that I think it's just crazy. Now, I mean, what do you do about the left back situation, for example? You don't have at the moment. Bayern doesn't have Alaba because he's injured, and Juan Bernat, who was allowed to go to PSG, has created a left back problem. They don't have that backup position and a guy who can perform right now. They're having to use Leon Goretzka, the midfielder, to fill in while Alaba is sidelined with an injury. So that's just insane of how the injuries are it's just a plague, so far. And I guess it's better for them to have the injuries now than later, because right now the season can be salvaged. Right now it's only 7 games. They're not really they're not a lot of points behind Dortmund. But this is where they have to have a strong leader. They have to have somebody who can say, hey, we're playing really bad. Everything's going against us, but that doesn't mean it's gonna continue. We can keep doing this. We can perform a lot better. But do they have someone who has that type of leadership? We hope that players like Mats Hummels or Manuel Neuer can provide that. And even speaking about Mats Hummels. I think he's struggling this season. It seemed like both Hummels and Boateng are playing like the best. Their best is gone is been in the past. Like they've gone into another era where they're just like also declining. And I don't think that should be. Hummels 29, Boateng 30. Yes, they are at that age. But for defenders can play a little bit longer maybe. Because their experience also is very helpful to them. But it just doesn't seem like they're playing to their fullest potential. Manuel Neuer, yes, he's such a good goalkeeper, and probably at some point, not too far back, he was regarded as as the best goalkeeper in the world. But I think so far he is playing not at the level that he is expected to play in. So that's just right now where they're at, as long as with the players and the injuries. And I just feel like they need a leader. I really do. And what about the coach? What can he do to turn all of these things around? Can he can he do something? Make a change, just something. I don't really know. I myself don't know what I would do in his situation, but he's being paid to do this. He needs to find a way, or he's gonna lose his job, because Bayern's not gonna let this season just slip by without doing anything. Just you gotta. The fans are growing very impatient, and yes, their season can be saved. They're still in the Champions League. They have plenty of chances, plenty of more games to go to where they can be in the top of the league table again. But but the process of a snowball turning into an avalanche is not inevitable. That is not inevitable. So 4 games without a win, it's a big setback. It's a really big setback. That can just snowball right in. So what? They don't have enough goals. I think they have like 2 goals in the last 4 games. That's not good enough. So as I said, their coach is, I think, lacking ideas, but he needs to find a way out. There's got to be somebody in the team who can play that leader role, that can, they can grind out some games at the beginning. It's just about, I think, getting confidence. Right now it seems like they're not playing to the fullest potential because of confidence as well. A lot of it is in here. A lot of it is in the head. They have the skill to do it. Yes, they have a lot of injuries, but they have the skills to move forward. They have everything. So I think it's all of that. And also going back into the Arjen Robben and Frank Ribéry, what is the board gonna do about it? Who is gonna succeed those 2 players? They're not gonna be in there forever. They're barely gonna make it through this season, I think. I don't know if they can play to the Bayern standard in the next season. I'm not too sure about that. I really don't think they are. But who's gonna replace? How much are they gonna have to? How much are Bayern gonna have to spend to get to that level? To find the kind of players that they've been relying on in the feet of Robben, in the feet of Ribéry. What is gonna happen? Coleman, yes, he's such a good player, but what? Who else? It can't just be Coleman who's gonna turn up. So, yeah, those are the situation that they're facing. Are they in crisis mode? I would say yes. I would say they should be in crisis mode because they cannot let the season slip away like this. They have time. Time is in their favor right now. It's early in the season. Anything can happen. But it's critical because right now it's the time where they need to do something to salvage their season. Can they do it? What do you guys think? Please write down in the comment section and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys on the next video.